Hey, quick intro on this video. Sorry for the light refraction stuff. I dropped my phone and cracked it right across that camera. We will be at Lone Star Throwdown this weekend in February in 2025. Is the 22nd, I think, or yeah, I think so. Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure. The weather's supposed to be bad on Saturday. I'm going to have some stickers in hand, so if you catch me walking around, hit me up and get some of this goodness. Otherwise, stay tuned. Here comes the video. Time for us to get back on the tuning on this thing now that we have the AC all complete. Also, I'm having a spacer machined with the thread pitch, the reverse thread, to go between here. It should space this fan out. Well, it's 27 millimeter, close to 1.5 inches. So that'll put that where we need it to be. Anyway, I found it pretty interesting that during the last sick week, James Tall or Jack Stan Jimmy found a 240SX from Oklahoma. I think it was delivered to him. It was a 6-liter with a carburetor, actually a brawler, and had a nitrous plate on it. I knew that we probably needed to change the power valve because, again, we dialed the idle mixture screws, which all 4 of them all the way around, to keep the air-fuel ratio where we want it to at idle. When you lean into the throttle, you'd get a lean condition, and then it would kind of normalize once you were under load. So that points to the power valve, and it confirmed my suspicions when I saw this. Quick little Amazon shopping, and we ordered an 8.5 power valve. Also, we're having trouble with it dieseling when we'd shut it off, of course. And talking to Wayne, that's typically your plugs are too hot and you need to change your plugs by 2 numbers higher with NGK, which makes the plugs colder. So also on Amazon, it was pretty easy to get a set of these B8 EFSs. They are drastically different looking also because this, like a TR6 plug, looks something like this. And you can see the depth that it sits in there, which reminded me of the plugs that this engine had in it when I bought it. I kept them and left them laying around. Nope, those are the TR6s that we fouled out whenever we didn't have enough timing in it. I think I've got some. There we are. These are some weird plugs. Can you see that? This was an R5671 A-9, so it was actually a 9 heat range plug that was in this engine when we bought it, and I didn't pay much attention to it. I just looked up 6-liter LS and ordered like a TR6, but that is not what this thing wants. Apparently it's a lot higher compression than we may have thought it was. Also, if you're going to run nitrous, you want to run a colder plug. So we're running 8s this time. I guess we'll see if it's going to require a 9, but I feel like we're going to be in good shape. I'm going to get those swapped out, and then we'll start tearing into this carburetor and deal with this power valve. I'm going to point out, I'm going to gap these at 25 thousandths, which is pretty close to the way these plugs shipped. These that came out of the engine originally are even tighter than that, which it could have just been from some buildup on them. I'm not sure that's what it is though. I believe these were gapped at just over 20. Also, I will be putting a dab of anise. I always highly recommend doing that, especially whenever you're mixing 2 types of metals or if they're serviceable like spark plugs. Plug reading is not ideal. This is 8, 6, 4, and 2, 1, 3, 5, and 7. I'd like to see them a lot more uniform. This one looks a little too lean. These 2 look about right. Actually, these 3 look about right. That's a little rich. Could have maybe happened during initial tuning, getting it right, I suppose. But we'll put these new ones in and see if that solves it. So here's the back side of our power valve. Oof. Yeah, it does pop off. Well, this one had a 6.5 in it. I think those other guys had a 4.5, so we're going to go to an 8.5 from a 6.5, which still sounds bigger. Yeah. All right, not too often we get to use our 1-inch wrench. Oh, it wasn't very tight at all. There's a gasket left on both sides of this. Like maybe it tore in half. Well, it's kind of dangerous using this stretch plastic wrap over here because not the smartest way to package these. There we go. All right, so this looks like the gasket probably tore itself, so I'm gonna make sure and clean this off and then use the new one. There we go. It's pretty clean. Make sure that gasket sits down in the machined recess. It's about 1.811 teen minus 4 inch-pounds. This is a rubberized gasket here, so it's probably why it doesn't require you to replace it when you change that power valve. And there's another one on this side of the bowl. And each one of these screws has a little thin washer on it, so if you're taking yours apart, make sure you get a hold of all those before you go putting it back together. All right, same torque conversion on that. Make it up as you go. Grab the laptop and grab a little protection too. I realized we've done way too much test driving on a new build with no fire protection. These things are super awesome, by the way. Element Advanced Fire Protection. It's like a flare, except it puts out fires instead of makes them. I'm sure the guys at Element love that explanation of their device. Maybe we'll make these gauges a little bigger, a little easier to read. So we warmed it up pretty good. It's saying our coolant temp's 164, which would reach, I don't know, that's about as warm as it gets. So on our seat belt, see how easy it starts. No throttle or anything. Oh yeah. Fuel injected cars don't even start that fast. Whoa, 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 whoa. RPM, 31 degrees. I pulled it into gear, drops to like 29 degrees timing, and the mixture goes much leaner than I'd like it to. I get a little gas, it drops considerably. Seeing 15 at 1300 RPM. Probably, I don't know, when this pulls a little vacuum, it goes lean like that. I think that's worse than it was with the smaller power valve. Actually, I know it's worse than it was with the smaller power valve. Steady at 13.5 or so, sitting here idling. Let's see. This is hard to do. I don't like this transmission. This thing needs to go see Wayne. It's no good. No good. I don't know if I just have first or what. Oh. Okay, it is accelerating. Not shifting. I have to let off the throttle some. Well, no. It's bad. Oh, I gotta clean up that mess because the dadgum, the kickdown cable gasket's leaking on the trans too. Anyway, yeah, sitting here at 1,070, yeah. And it's 12.9, 13 O's. But when I was driving, it stays way leaner than that. Yeah. But here's one good test. Still diesels. Oh my gosh. I have no desire to try to put this thing on a trailer and get it strapped down to haul it like 8 or 9 miles in the country road. So we're just gonna baby this thing along and hope we get there. So it's been about a week since we dropped the truck off with Wayne again. I had to get out of town. It was terrible weather and cold and had work to do. He did have time to tune it, and we'll kind of go over some of that when we get there, but apparently the transmission, according to him, was completely fried and only had first gear. And he didn't like the second TV cable that we installed on it, so I just let him install the stainless steel low car, because I want to make sure that he is comfortable with it doing TV cable things, since he built the transmission now twice. So we'll be pulling up in a minute and we'll see what's going on.
Oh, on the cable?
Well, I know you did the cable.
Yeah.
And then you worked on the carburetor.
Yeah, we jetted it a little bit and then took the squirter out and got the eyelet, pushed it up just a hair, and that was really all we did to the thing.
Oh, you didn't change my power valve?
Yes, I did. I changed that too, yes. Went from a
I put an 8.5 in it.
8.5 to 10.5, yeah.
Okay, so it was a 6.5 is
Yeah.
what it shipped with.
Yeah, and now it's you can see it on the O2. It works awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna dig it.
All right.
You'll be cooking with bacon.
That's what the transmission was toast, huh? Or the,
Yes.
Or the clutches were.
Yes, it fried the 3/4. Like I say, on this thing, just 2 clicks on one of those cables, it makes a pretty big difference. And it was off quite a bit. Enough. Well, it moved once you give it throttle.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't hold. So the low power ones, you screw them and they're solid. They don't move. So that's why I use those.
Yeah. Well, and I'd had it set up to where, like, you know, you do the wide open throttle and you pull it all the
Yeah.
way and then set that tension. And then, like, it would shift normal. Like, I knew when they were misadjusted before, it'd be in 3rd gear at the end of my driveway.
Yeah.
You know, so it was not that way. Like, it totally was perfect with your throttle position when it would shift gears. So I was like, we're in good shape, you know, as far as that. But
Yeah.
anyway, we'll see what happens if it'll pop a wheelie or not.
You'll pop a wheelie.
A couple pumps. It's cold. I love driving this thing around in the freaking mud. It's awesome. It's my favorite thing. Of course, I guess I could have just left it here until the weather cleared, but I have no idea how long that's going to be. You really got to drive this thing with 2 feet when it's cold. He's got it holding gear for quite a while, but I'm certainly not going to monkey with it. He's the doctor. Still idling at 14, 15. Not even really sure when this thing shifts. It sort of acted like it did before, where it just goes really soft. At least the 1-2. This is at like 30% throttle. Interesting. It's about 50% throttle. It seems like it just leans over into the next gear. Yeah. So he just gave me a ride home in it because he noticed that it's shifting awful soft too. And that's really not what we want out of that thing. So I'm going to let him have it back for another week. And I won't see him next weekend because, as I plan to state at the beginning of this video, we'll be in Texas for the Lone Star Throwdown. So I won't be here next weekend to pick it up. Maybe one evening after work next week we can come pick it up after the festivities. So I hope he figures out what's up with that thing. And then we'll go over more detail of what he did to tune it, because I know that's kind of the point of this video. I'll list what he sent me in a text. I know you could probably barely hear what he was saying in his shop of what we did. It does seem to run fine. I don't feel like the transmission is letting the power that engine can make translate to the tires. He'll look into it a little further. I hate that for him, honestly, to have to pull the transmission apart again because he felt like it was rock solid. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry if this is kind of disappointing and not a good payoff, but trust me, you can't be more disappointed than I am, because I got another week trying to get that thing on the road. And unfortunately, it's not. So we'll see you next time. See you at Lone Star Throwdown.